installing the velocity stacks for the carbon fiber. Well, I got two things. I have a carbon fiber intake plenum, and I have carbon fiber velocity. I'll show you what that is so you know what the hell I'm talking about. I actually haven't taken it out of the box, so give me a second here. We'll do this. All right, so this is the bottom of the plenum. That's the top of the plenum. And in order to put this on, these holes, I have to get rid of the studs on the stock airbox. I'll show you what the velocity stack looks like. So there's one of them in here. I'll take it out. But I need two hands. So hold on. Fun of live TV. There we go. So in here, and Peter wraps them tight. There we go. So that's a velocity stack. Looks like a gooseneck. So this is a stock one. So you have stock, and then expensive one. Stock, expensive. So the different. I mean, this isn't the right one, right? They have their own shape. Each of them is shaped for the spot that it goes on the cylinder. And no one's here yet, so it's just by myself. All right. So the way this works is you can, if you look at the side profile, there we go. And you can kind of see that there's a difference between the two, right? This one's a bit more flat, and this one is more curved. So the difference, from what I understand, is when you're designing these things as an engineer, the more curvature there is at the edge, the lip of this, the way the air flows, it has a chance, it increases the velocity as it has to kind of travel over the lip of the trumpet. So Peter and his engineers at Party Racing, they tune these. I do have a set of Dynan ones somewhere in a box. That's what I was going to put in the car, but then I decided to go with these. Don't ask why. And so that's what I'm going to install. Now, in order to put these on, I have to modify the stock car, like everything else that I'm doing. All right, so maybe you can see. You see this? There's a little stud here. So these studs have to get off. And then when I put these on, they're going to get held on with screws. But before I can put these on, I have to put the bottom of the plenum on. Before I can do that, I got to get all these little studs out. Then I put the bottom on, I think. No, where there's a gasket I use. It doesn't make a difference. Right now, the big pain in the ass part is getting these studs out. I got two out, and I'm working on number 3. And if you want to join me watching this, oh, hello everybody, welcome. You'll watch me do it. So let's get to work. All right, so removing these studs. Here's what a stud looks like. Let me get one for you. Where are my studs? The one that I destroyed. Here we go. All right. So the stud is basically like a screw body without the screw top on it, right? It's just well, a stud. These are Loctited in. Is that even the right word? Loctited? Yeah, they're Loctited in. So the way to get rid of them is you can either use like a vice grip and you kind of destroy it and you unscrew it, or you can do a double nut method. Double nut is exactly what it sounds like. You take 2 nuts. These are the ones that come with the car. You put one on, you screw it all the way to the base. Then you put another nut on top of that. And it's kind of tedious. I mean, not tedious, it's just like, it takes time. So I got the bottom nut on. I'm going to get the top nut on. And I'm going to screw that in kind of all the way. And it makes it tight. There we go. It makes it tight. Okay, once it's tight, I'm going to use pressure on the top nut to kind of like tighten it in. I don't like these nuts. They're like a little stripped. And then I use another nut on the bottom to loosen. And that's the secret to double nutting. I just need wrenches that want to work with me. Of course. The, oh God, there we go. There's no room. The wrench doesn't want to fit. All right, so if you have questions, go ahead and ask questions because I'm going to be focusing on this while I do this. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of I don't know if it's boring, but not a lot to talk about because I'm doing work. So before what I was using the the ratcheting side of these, and it worked pretty well until I got the ratchet piece stuck, and that sucked. So I'm not going to do that anymore. There we go. I think that's working. The problem is the studs is getting in the way. So now I don't know if that's turning or not. Let's do this. This wrench is too thick. Let me get a different wrench. Hold on. Where's my 8? Nope, 9. So I've got, you can't see this, I'll show you. I have 3 different types of the same wrench. And oddly enough, you'd think that's overkill, but they actually all serve different purposes. I mean, they're the same wrench, but one's got a ratchet head, one's got a flexible ratchet head. And the standard one, my first one that I got, it seems like it's actually just thin enough to work, which is what I need. So if your wife tells you got too many tools, tell her she doesn't know what she's talking about. And again, if you have any questions, ask questions. Well, while I'm waiting, I'm doing this, I'll give you an update on the car. So I've got the suspension in, front and rear. It's getting stripped. Shit. Yep, hold on. I'm stripping stuff. All right, I'm probably gonna vote this method as sucking. No, I think it's coming. So I got the suspension in the front all on. Most of it's tightened. I don't have the steering links all tightened just yet. The clutch line I did, that was a major pain in the ass. I'll show that to you in a separate thing later on maybe. The reason why the clutch line was a pain in the ass is because it's a hard line and there's no room in the footwell box to do anything. There we go. There's no room. It's hard to get the clutch through the firewall. It just blows. And then there's really no room once you attach the clutch line to the slave cylinder. There we go. Okay, and now it's out. And now I think I can't get these 2 double nuts off, which is sort of the next problem. I kind of have to reuse them. Maybe that worked? Yeah. All right. Oh, 4 thumbs up. Hey guys, where are y'all watching from? I think that one's stuck. Shit. All right. So for some reason, I don't have access to all the nuts that I used before when I took the original plenum off. And I seem to only have a handful. Oh, no, I got some more. These kind of get destroyed, so I'm just worried. I'm trying to that's the word I'm looking for. Trying to ration them. Because once they get beat up, I can't really get them off. There. Okay. Let's put this somewhere. Okay, so that one's off. Now I did this one. What do you think? Should I just use the vice grip and kill it? If I do that, then there's no coming back. You can write something, you could say vice grip. let's see. Nope. That's not turning it. The vice grip is spinning. Shit. Shit, 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 shit. This is fun times. See if I can get more intimate with the camera. Hang tight. Yeah, that should be better. Okay. Let's just blast that on. Okay. On. And get my wrenches. Next one on. Anyway, yeah, the clutch line sucked. So it's done, and I'm happy that it's done, because like life can go on. I got the coolant system in, the fan, the shroud, all the hoses. I did put the clutch fan backwards, and it resulted in the fan being really close to the one of the coolant lines. And then I'm like, that looks weird. And then I fixed it. So it's not weird anymore. Okay, double nut. Nope, let's turn the whole thing. There we go. Okay, cool. $50 people, huh? That's amazing. So here's a cool stat, I think. Last time I did this live stream thing where I was working on the car, I was working on the headers. That was a process. I'm like, oh, I'll go live because, I want some company. And so I went live, and I think I had up to like, I don't know, 100 people, which is kind of cool. I mean, even having 5 people is cool. And then, I published the video, and then, I checked like a week later, and I guess because it was filmed in this format, it got displayed to a bunch of people, and I hit 9,000 views, which is insane. And not everybody watched the whole thing for forever, but I thought that was pretty cool. You guys are the quietest group I've had in a long time. All right, let's see if I can get this off. Let me get this. Sorry for the off-camera stuff. I don't want to do this in the engine bay. All right, so I got one of the double nuts off, and now I'm going to try to get the other one off. And again, the reason I'm doing this is because I need the nuts. If they get all eaten up, I'm not going to have enough to take these all off, and that'll be a problem. There we go. Okay, come on, get off. All right, now for the next double nut process. Okay, so we put a nut on. You know, there was a part of me that wanted to save all these studs. It's like, is that really realistic? Do I have to worry about saving these things? Like, is the next guy gonna want to put the car back to stock? I don't know. Probably not likely. Okay. Let's begin double nutting. Sounds dirty, right? Double nutting. That's where my mind goes. All right, we need to do the tighten and the untighten. Okay, put that on. It's gonna strip. I can't believe I have to do so many of these things. Okay. You know, one day, if anyone wants to buy me a gift, they have these ratcheting open-ended wrenches, and they would be perfect for stupid shit like this. Ugh. Go on this side. Still no questions. Amazing. All right, fine. What else can I tell you? Oh, this is kind of cool. So you may or may not know, I have an Alpina wagon that I just picked up from Sweden. By pick up, I mean imported. And because I'm still in the middle of this freaking project, and the plan is to do a similar kind of refresh, like refresh everything on the car. And given the fact that this has taken me, when I started this in June, July, August, September, October, November, a year and 5 months, I decided to just bring it to someone to have them work on it. So the car is at EAG right now in Cincinnati. And what's crazy is the car was dropped off probably like 3 weeks ago, and the engine already came out. They did the rod bearings, not that it needed it, the timing chain, engine's back in the car. Like the rate at which they've been blowing through all the, the different projects in the car blew my mind, because, you know, here I am used to JP time, which means that shit takes a lot longer. I think I'm not loosening this. Oh, fuck. So that should be done hopefully in maybe the new year. Gotta do this again. So that'll be fun to get out and working and driving, and maybe one day capturing like a, no, not on, capturing a like an in-car driving video eventually. Having a hard time here, guys. Has to be a better way. So part of the problem is this is just like ergonomically uncomfortable. And the other problem is it's just slow. Because the other stud's in the way, I can only turn so much at a time. Unless I got smart and did something like this. Start over here. Oh, there we go. Okay, motherfucker. There it goes, into the beast. All right, time out. I have to get my magnetic tool and find out where that went. Oh, found it. Ooh, wow. Yes. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, light. I gotta take this apart. This is what I'm doing. All right, on to the next one. There's a different nut for that one. Oh, we lost someone. What else can I tell you? Well, so clutch is in, suspension's in. Next, I bought a like a vacuum bleeder for the brakes system. So I plan on vacuum bleeding the brakes. We'll try that. That'll be a first-time experience. The only other way I've done it is with the motive pressure bleeder. So it adds pressure into the brake lines and it pushes things out. And allegedly the vacuum from the lower piece is the other way of doing it. I don't know if it's better or worse. We'll find out. So I bought a tool for that. Let's come over here and do that. There we go. Tighten this up. Okay. Get my other wrench. one's working. Yes. Plan to do that. I just said, you know what? Let me throw that in there. Let me launch that in there. I hear it. I'm gonna keep this right here. How would I do that? Let's just do that. Gonna need a magnet for the magnet. So if you just joined, you're wondering what the hell I'm doing. I'm in the process of removing the studs on the throttle bodies for the purpose of preparing the car for receiving really cool velocity stacks and a carbon fiber, yeah, that's a new material. Carbon fiber air plenum, both bottom and top. In a second here, I'll show you what that looks like for those that joined late. Ugh, come on. Is that coming out or is it unscrewing? Shit. Try something. It stopped. Hold on. Probably gonna stop soon because, you know, when this becomes hard and sucky, I want to not work anymore. No, it's not turning. Let me lower the car, hold on. All right, let's try that. Okay, I think that was it. So apparently when you double nut, all you're doing is you're like creating some kind of mechanical advantage to tie some kind of nut to a stud that doesn't have a head that you can attach onto. It's kind of cool, actually. That's what I'm doing. And slowly but surely, more slowly than surely, the stud gets removed until it pops out and falls into the valley of the engine. That's not going to happen anymore. I've become wise to our ways. See? Ta-da! Okay, next thing. I have to disassemble this. And then I'll show you the velocity stack in a second. Oh, battery's dying. That's a problem. Shit. Oh, it's either a problem or it's a sign from God that I should stop doing this. So let's figure that out. Well, here, I'll leave that. I'll show you the velocity stack thing, because it's kind of cool. Bear with me. All right, let's let me see myself. So this is a stock velocity stack. This isn't the one that goes there. Let me see if I can find that one. Kind of like that one, but not really. All right, I don't know what this one is. So this is a stock one. Look at how the edge of the trumpet is designed. And this is the carbon fiber one. Not, it's not the same one that goes there, but it's one of the 8. But you can see the difference between how they're designed. And the idea is when you have more surface area, more of a curved lip like that, from what I remember from what I was reading, it literally increases the velocity of the air as it has to work to get over the edge and into the trumpet. And so when you increase the amount of air that goes in there, that kind of creates like a ram air effect and creates more horsepower because you're shoving more air into the engine. So that's kind of cool. So that's getting, so in order to make that work, I have to remove the studs because these holes are made to receive bolts that come with the kit. And so you bolt on this to the throttle bodies. And then, actually this goes on first. Well, you can't see it. That goes on first. And then I attach the velocity stacks and that goes on last. Things really nice work of art. What else can I show you while I'm here? Can I turn the camera around? Yeah, oh, 110, okay. So the carbon, don't use the factory exactly, Mr. M, basically needs longer threads then. Probably. I actually don't know why Peter designed it that way. Let me see if the flanges are different. Hold on 1 second. They're about the same. Hold on, Mr. M. They're actually thicker. So that's the problem, I think. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. Okay, there. So, this is the stock one is probably half. Not half. It's like 3/4 of the thickness of this one. This has a thicker flange than this does. So maybe as a result of that. Also, too, because the plenum, the lower plenum is a lot thinner, and I think the shape is different. So we're not using gaskets. There's no stock gaskets that are getting used. There's their own gasket that it comes with. And I think it doesn't create the right seal that it needs, so he decided to just use bolts instead of whatever. So, whatevs. All right, let's see what else I can show you. This is fun. Okay, so I got the coolant system in, the expansion tank, all the hoses. I tell you, man, using this stuff, this Super Lube silicone lubricating grease with Syncolin, it's a funny name, made sliding all of the rubber parts onto the metal super easy. When I had to disassemble it, came off easy, went back on easy. Really happy about that. As I mentioned, when I put the clutch fan in, because I put a new fan blade on the clutch, and I kind of forgot to take a picture of what it looked like beforehand, so I forgot the orientation. So, of course, I have a half and half chance to get it right and wrong. So I got it on wrong. And when you have it on wrong, basically this fan comes inward towards the engine, and it's like danger close to the hose. So I'm like, that's weird. It doesn't seem right. So I ended up taking the whole thing off, and I redid it, and then there you go. It actually makes like it looks more sense, makes more sense now. So that's cool. I was planning on doing the E60 master cylinder brake upgrade. I'm getting to the point now in the car, I've done so much work and I just want the car to work. So I'm not going to do that. So that's going to wait for someone else probably. And then in the car itself, man, I can't open the door because it hits. But getting underneath the footwell to do the hard line, I'll show you the hard line for the clutch line, really sucked. It was probably one of my most unfavorite parts of the job. So here is the, popcorn. Here's the old one. This is what my rubber clutch line looked like. Like it was literally falling apart. Well, that's just the cover for it, right? And it was good old corroded. So the way this works is this goes through the car, and then this makes its way into the footwell behind where the clutch pedal is. It pops up like this, and then seats into the slave cylinder that goes there. It's a bitch because the way this works in the car with the factory line is it's virtually pressed into the firewall itself. There's like a layer of sound insulation, and there's just no room between the pressure of the pivot pin pushing on the clutch pedal itself. it just sucked. So what I ended up doing was I found a fellow YouTuber used a custom-made braided line that had the right fittings on there, and that's what I used. I'll show you that eventually on the car. So that's what's in there right now. I have to get back in the car to pull the gasket, this weather strip piece. I can't think anymore. Back into the car. So that's, you know, next. I bought this at Harbor Freight today. Air operated brake bleeder with auto refill kit. So we'll try putting brake fluid in the car via that system. On the dine-in air intake front, I tell you, man, run out of patience. So let me show you what's going on with that thing. Hold on a second. Okay. So with dine-in, with the air intakes, it's a weird setup, dude. So these are supposed to like catch rain and they drain out the bottom. In order to install these, they mount to these plates. I'm not going to take them out of the bag, but these plates get installed alongside the heat shields. It's been an ordeal, man. Here's the heat shield. Oh, where's my heat shields? Here's a heat shield. Here's the air ducts. So these go on the car. They go this way, right? They go on the car. The bottom here where I'm touching, these little clips, this is where the belly pan gets attached to. The ones that came on the car were all sorts of bent and messed up. So the problem I had is, this is fun. So I tried to rebend this in the right spot. I'm not a good metal bender, apparently, because I couldn't make it work. And then these are missing the original unique body nuts that are supposed to go on there. So I ended up picking up a used set. They're on the car now. But anyway, those metal things I showed you on the floor, they're supposed to go along this side in the car, and it's really janky how it's supposed to all get set up. So I realized as I was trying to futz with it, I don't really need to do that right now. And in fact, what I am going to do is I'm going to have someone else do it when the car operates. So my plan is to get the car operational, put the carbon intakes in, put them where they belong, make sure everything works, all that stuff, because they kind of go here and they attach to the airplane. That's why I'm doing the airplane now. And then I'll have someone finish the other piece because I'm just running out of steam. So with that said, I'm not going to jack the car up. Let's see if I can show you. Take it off the camera here. So these are my new to me air ducts, and they have the right nut on there, and they fit really nice with the new belly pan. It's really, I don't know. It's very expensive plastic is what it is. So that's all done. And then I have to do like some minor adjustment. I realized when I put the pork chop in the right way, a couple of the body nuts don't line up in the right spot. Oh, what happened here? Did that crack? Son of a bitch. Well, I'm happy with that. Shit, man. Where did that go? Okay, I'll come back to that one. Anyway, I have to like adjust this. It has to come down like a little bit. And that's it. And then I keep working on the car. So thanks for watching. I appreciate, you know, all you watching for 40 minutes. It's amazing. I appreciate the thumbs up. And stay tuned for more stuff. See y'all later.